us, you know, and it doesn't have to be 2 hours. You could limit it to 1 hour. You know, I think, and that way, you get yourself into it and you see how the show progresses. If you think you need more time, so then you give yourself another hour. But otherwise, I mean, it's like being a teacher. The worst thing in the world is empty space. When you're talking and all of a sudden there's nothing. It's silent. You know.
Well, how long are your Bible Bible classes?
When I have Bible classes?
Yeah.
Well, you see, I teach a class once a month that's 3.5 hours long.
Oh, that's long.
So it's a little too long. But I'd be happy to talk to anybody on the radio who has a difference of worldview or religion. That's what I do. That's my ministry. Is to reach out to as many people as possible.
Chad, think about this. Record your lecture with your congregants, the discussion, and you can play like 45 minutes to an hour at a time on your show.
I could. But now, the only thing is, though, is that the class that I teach is how to teach, especially young people, how to evangelize. It's more of in fact, I guess I can plug this. I am going to have a video YouTube channel pretty soon where it's going to teach you how to evangelize. So if there's somebody interested, how to witness to the lost. Now, you guys might not be so interested in it because it comes from a Protestant background, a Bible-believing background. But if you're a born-again Christian and you want to learn how to evangelize, I'm going to have on there several videos on how to do it.
Interesting.
I think that's interesting, and I would watch it because because I have an open mind as far as that goes.
Oh,
unlike the Rev here who has no mind at all. But
no, I'm just
Oh,
mindless.
that's terrible, Mark.
I know. That's why he loves me so.
You were going to ask a question, Felix. I think Felix had a question before we started talking about all that. What's your question?
With your kids, you're not celebrating Christmas and not celebrating Easter, and they see.
Well, I didn't say we didn't. Hold on, Felix. I didn't say we didn't celebrate it. The way we celebrate it is different than the average person who wants to put the Santa Claus thing in it. You're right. We don't do the Santa Claus thing.
Do you give gifts?
But that doesn't mean we don't celebrate Christmas.
Do you give gifts on Christmas?
We do. Yeah, we do. We do gifts, Jesus, and family. I should have a bad order. It's really Jesus, gifts, and family, or family and gifts. And we try to put those importance in order for them so that they have a real sense of value on that day. I think the gift thing is a real distraction, or the Santa Claus thing is a real distraction, and we just chose to kind of put ourselves away from that.
Well, it's probably difficult, but I could almost understand why. I mean, the whole meaning of the holiday has changed. Everything becomes very commercialized.
It has, yep. It has, yep. And the thing is when you give a child the opportunity to believe in Santa Claus, let's just face the real facts. They're not going to be interested in Jesus. I know very few kids, and I grew up this way. Guys, please keep in mind, I love my parents very much. They did the Santa Claus thing. They did the Easter Bunny thing. They put me in public school. The reason why we chose to do the opposite of that is not because I didn't value the blessings of my parents and what they did for me. In fact, my father taught me to work hard my whole life. I love my parents. But when I became born again, okay, my worldview radically changed to follow after Jesus. I want to teach my kids on the way they should go and follow the Lord. It's a totally different lifestyle. If you understand Christianity and understand what it means to follow after Jesus, you'll understand this one aspect. we are slaves unto the Lord, and our desires no longer become relevant. It's what Christ desires, and we really wanted to follow him with our whole hearts. It doesn't mean the kids are bored. A lot of people ask that question. Are the kids bored in Christmas? No. In fact, they get more presents than any kid I know. I mean, they get presents from us. They get presents from my parents, who spoil the garbage out of them. They get presents from the in-laws, from the aunts and the uncles. I bring home truckloads of stuff home for them.
Hey, listen, with all the between It's a Wonderful Life and Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed, and Miracle on 34th Street with a very young Natalie Wood, okay, and White Christmas with Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby, okay, between the music and the joy, how can you be bored? I love that time of the year. I just love that time of the year.
I don't know how you can be, really. It's,
I don't know. Do you? I mean, he doesn't watch. Do you let the kids watch stuff like White Christmas and Santa Claus movies?
No, we avoid the whole Santa Claus thing altogether. But we will watch, just because the focus is not on Santa Claus, the movie Elf. We really love Elf. That's a funny movie.
Oh, that's a funny movie.
Take It's a Wonderful Life. All right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end, the lesson that he learns, when Clarence writes in his book, his Tom Sawyer book, no man is a failure who has friends. A lot of times when you're down on yourself, for whatever reason, think of how the world would be a different place if you weren't in it. Think of the difference that you make in other people's lives. That's the whole purpose behind that movie. And that if you have friends, you're the richest man in the world. Okay?
Sure. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that principle. But
I'm a hopeless romantic and a dreamer,
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, me and Lori love the movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Just mindless, fun, entertainment. It's not like we're prude in the in the world. We enjoy movies that most people enjoy. It's just that the kids being so young, we're keeping away the excitement of Santa Claus, and we're keeping more of the excitement that Christ was born. We watch wonderful movies together, like The Nativity Story. If you've never seen that, that's a great movie.
Do you take the kids to shopping malls at Christmas time?
Yeah, we go. We take them to the mall. We have a good time.
Obviously, there's
cappuccinos.
There's a Santa Claus there. There's kids there. How do you explain it to them?
Well, we tell them the truth that some children believe in Santa Claus, and that's okay if that's what the family want. But you guys know where Mommy and Daddy believe, and we want you guys to know what the truth is about Santa Claus now.
Well,
if they want to have fun in the future with their own kids, that'll be their decision. But our focus is on Christ.
But do you think at this age that if you let them believe in Santa Claus, and most people do, most of the kids, once they're over 8, 10 years old, 12 years old, they don't have that belief anymore anyway, but it's a time to enjoy, and it's not even considered a holiday to a lot of people. Santa Claus is not a religious symbol anymore for a lot of people. It's just a sign of, of the holidays and kids having a good time.
Well, when you talk about explaining it to the kids, Diane Keaton and John Goodman just starred in this past holiday season, starred in a Christmas movie. They're a couple of grandparents, and they have their grandchildren with them, and they're driving down like Hollywood and Vine or something like that. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly where it was. And you have one Santa after another, and the kid asks them, how could that be Santa? And John Goodman says, well, they're really Santa helpers. They're all dressed like Santa, but they're Santa helpers,
But still, again, I don't see...
Felix, let me ask you this question. I want to ask Felix this question. Felix, could we have a good time at Christmas without Santa Claus? Is that possible?
Of course it is, but you can't avoid it with the way life is. Kids see it all over the place.
Well, look, I know this wouldn't be very hard. It would be very easy to accept. My parents are used to it, but they didn't like it in the beginning either. This was a commitment that me and Lori made in the very beginning because, we'll just drop it at this because this is, although it's silly because they're fake characters, this is a very sensitive subject to most adults. They want children to believe in Santa Claus and they want children to believe in the bunny rabbit. But remember, those things don't have anything to do with Christmas, yet as a child, the focus isn't on Jesus. The focus becomes Santa Claus, and that's what we were avoiding. It's not that we think the character isn't fun, or he brings some sort of joy to people. It's that he brings a focus that steers kids away from what Christmas is. I remember years ago when I was a kid, I'd be waiting for Santa Claus, and I just couldn't wait to get out of church. You'd sit there, and oh man, we gotta go to Christmas Eve mass, because all I kept thinking about is pretty soon I'll be receiving. Now, if you break down the character of Santa Claus, he's doing a couple things that's dangerous to the mind of a person that is unbiblical. The first thing is he's got a naughty and nice list, okay? So let's just look at that from the biblical standpoint. The Bible says that none of us are good, that none of us know God and none of us seek God. The important message in the Bible is that it's God's grace that he gives to us, not because we're good. Whereas the Santa Claus character gives to you only if you're good. You see what I'm saying? So even that personal aspect of Santa Claus draws children to believe, if I'm good, I'll get. Jesus says, no, you aren't good and you'll never get. I have to rescue you from your devastation and your depravity. Okay, so there's a type of grace there that is opposite of the idea of Santa Claus. The other thing is Santa Claus comes giving, but never teaching how to sacrifice yourself. So there's a lot of different aspects of Santa Claus that it's fun, it's cute, but the principles are, in my opinion, devastating to not only the idea of Christmas. It gets away from Jesus. It has nothing to do with Jesus. But it also teaches fundamental truths that are, quite frankly, unbiblical. And to a mind of a child, they're thinking, as long as I'm good, I'm going to get it. And that, believe it or not, has future implications when they're adults. That's where people get the idea, if I'm good enough, I will get something, or I will earn something. Where Christ says, no, the person I rescue
I understand that,
is never good enough.
But you got to remember, all life is based, forget about religion and good or bad. You're a good employee, you're going to get a raise. You're a bad employee, you're going to get fired. That's the way the world is,
Correct. But the difference, Felix, the difference is that when I want to be a good employee, it's because I want to work as of unto the Lord. I want to do good works to display God's grace, not to earn it. You see, there's a big difference. I could either try to earn something, or I could just do it as a slave to please my master because I love him. It's a big difference.
Well, you work.
Jesus.
Why do you work?
I work to earn money for my family.
Okay. You don't have
It's
to.
not the fact of earning money. It's the fact of being able to provide. Because, we don't have a barter system. Things cost a certain amount, and you get,
sure,
and that's it. I think it would go more to your teachings and your beliefs if we did have a barter system.